Nowadays, in our current situation, job opportunity really important for every people, right? They have their own right to get the quality of job opportunity. Each company can try to qualify their employers in order to reach every goal of the company. Of course, this one can take as a serious problem. One of our stance is very clear. We want equality of human rights to get same level for job opportunity. In this case, we know that the job opportunity is very important thing, right? So people can get the equality of the human rights to get a job opportunity. Why we really agree with this motion? The House believes that developing countries should require foreign companies operating in its territory to have a minimum quota hiring local workers. The first of all, we define about the foreign companies who operating in our developing countries. As the developing country, we should empower our local workers, right? So this case, we should giving a payback to having company in our country. For example, the foreign companies like McDonald's, KFC and others, they have to pay back to having company in our countries. Besides, they should pay the taxes. It's common responsibility to foreign companies to have companies operating in our territory. So they don't need to spend a lot of cost when they hiring the local workers. Why is it like this? It's better to empower the local workers itself rather than we hire the foreign workers. Why I say so? Just we think that imagine that they should hiring the foreign workers rather than empower local workers. They should spend a lot of cost, ladies and gentlemen. They spend a lot of cost of the accommodation first, and they spend a lot of cost of the transportation for the foreign workers. It shows you that it's better to empower the local workers rather than the foreign workers itself, right? So here, as developing countries, of course, we want get a payback from the foreign companies itself, like empower our local worker, right? So it is just a take as our corporate social responsibility to begin with. As developing countries, we should take our corporate social responsibility to our society and our environment. So in this case, if we hiring the local workers, it's very benefit for our country. For example, we just take our corporate social responsibility, there will much more human resources to be qualified in our society, right? So even if the human resources not qualified enough for what they want to expect, they can acknowledge them and train them to be good qualified workers, right? Their responsibility to take so it's all about the responsibility of foreign companies operating in our developing countries territory. So here it will be works by the corporate social responsibility regulated by the government in developing countries. So they can get nice branding in society. For example, how to treat the local people. It's very useful for going concern of these foreign companies to having operating in our territory. Just imagine that if we regulate the corporate social responsibility to foreign companies, it will regulate by the government in developing countries. They can get nice branding in society and how to treat local people, right? So of course the benefit side, of course, get by the local workers, like they get a lot of job opportunity. It's very useful for our country because if we try to expand qualified human resources. For example, they can go to international or just make a nice job opportunity in our local branded, like it's very expand qualified human resources. They can treat them to train them, for example, as a responsibility of these foreign companies. We can make a better to going concern the companies, right? So here we try to create the symbiosis mutualism. The foreign get income from the foreign companies get income for operating in our territory, and the local workers get a job opportunity and qualify human resources because they train the human resources a lot before qualify in their company. So it will create the nice relation between the countries. They will cooperate well, for example, between the countries like Indonesia and America, for example, and will create the good side for two of them. For example, they get more bilateral relations in other countries, and it will get a good branded to society and the local workers. So here I link back to this my first argument that we should, as foreign companies, we should pay back to having companies in our country, right? Besides, they should pay taxes, and it is all about the common responsibility that should do by the foreign companies itself. So it's just regulated by government in developing country to create the corporate social responsibility for foreign workers. So we proud to propose. Thank you.